Hello sweet friends and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought you could come along with me as I start my 2026 book bullet journal. Last year I was just looking for a fun new way to get creative when it came to noting down all of the books that I've read this year. Obviously I have my favorite apps that I use to track those. But I am nothing if not a person that loves collecting silly little hobbies. And so this bullet journal kind of became another fun hobby that I could do that was related to reading. I had so much fun creating this and kind of figuring out what my style was, how I liked journaling. And now I feel like moving into 2026, I have a really good idea of what I want my journal to look like. I get tons of my inspo on Pinterest as well as on Instagram. And I thought I would show you some of the new items that I have gotten to go with my bullet journal, some of the favorites that I used last year that I will continue to use and order more of for this year. And I just thought we could get comfy cozy together and start our 2026 book bullet journal. You're definitely going to need to start out with a blank bullet journal. I got this one off of Amazon. It comes in a few different colors. I will link this one below for you, as well as all of the other items that I am using in this video. The next item that I am super excited about was a bit of an investment this year. I've just been using my color printer at home, but if you're like me, you know that your color printer really just doesn't print, at least mine doesn't print off really high quality photos of when I'm doing my little book covers in the journal. And so I saw a few people using this item and I saved up a little bit and decided to get it myself. And that is the Canon Ivy Mini photo printer. I got the cute little pink one, and then I got some extra papers to go along with it. So I'm super excited to try that out this year. The next essential item I feel like you need is a good set of markers. Again, I got this set on Amazon. I love that it comes in this little kit here. I feel like this is the perfect size. I ended up going with the smaller option, which has less colors, but I still feel like you get the good majority of colors that you would really need for any kind of artwork that you're wanting to do. I love how each of the markers are two-sided, so you have a fine point end and then a brush stroke end, so you're getting bang for your buck with these markers. Me and my rolly tape are best friends. Used to put my photos in there, anything else I print off. If I have little stencils that I'm wanting to glue in there, these things come in handy. You can usually get them in sets of 3. I also love getting crafty with washi tape. Everybody needs washi tape. And then just fun little stencils like this where you can put it around the book. They just kind of elevate your book journal a little bit more. And then probably the whole reason why I decided to start a book bullet journal is the stickers. I had subscriptions to a bunch of different book boxes and you would get stickers with all those book boxes. And then I had a handful of stickers and I'm like, what am I going to do with all of these stickers? I don't really put them on water bottles or anything like that. So I was like, what could I be doing to utilize these fun stickers? So that was a huge reason why I started this book journaling. And I grabbed this little sticker book holder off of Amazon. It has these little compartments that you can put your stickers in, which makes it super easy to organize them into different themes and different styles. But now that we've gone over a few of my essential items, let's go ahead and dive in and start our 2026 journal. It's the next day and I I did a fair amount of just pencil work in my book yesterday when I was chilling on the couch last night, listening to an audiobook. I forgot how relaxing it is to just listen to a book and work in my book journal, especially at the beginning of the year, because that's when you get to do a lot of your doodling, kind of creating the different tracking pages that you want to use. Let's go ahead and quickly look at what it's looking like so far. So we have the title page of the journal that you guys saw yesterday. And then I also did this page in my office as well. And on this section, I think I'm going to be typing out my different goals that I have for reading throughout the year. So I will, like I said, type those out and then glue them on this page. Next, my book goal for how many books I want to read is 100, but I ended up putting more than 100 squares because last year I set a goal of 80 and surpassed that by quite a few. So I like that I left lots of room for more books if I end up reading more than what my goal actually is. And then I am going to be putting little stars next to these numbers here. And each number, so whether a book is 1 stars, 2, 3, 4, or 5, it'll be a specific color. And then when I complete the book, based on whatever my star rating was, I will color that square that color. Then I have these 2 blank pages here because I'm going to be working on that today. I'm going to be putting my top 26 books for 2026, and then my book club over on Patreon, I created a fun little bingo card challenge for us to do for the first quarter of the year. So that's January, February, and March. I'm going to be putting that there and then tracking that on this section. On this page, we are doing your typical, I don't know what these are called, but where you put your favorite read of each month and then they go head to head with one another till I figure out what my top read of the year was. I did that last year and it was so fun to do. Then this page is blank because I'm also going to be working on that today. This will be my series tracker. So I have a few series that I really want to get to and finish this year. So I am going to be putting them in this section here. Last year I did all of the series that I have on my shelf, but then I found it very overwhelming and really hard to keep track of. So this year instead, I thought it would be a cool idea to just pick a few series that I know I am really excited to get through or continue to work on or finish, and those will be going in that part. Then we have the infamous bookshelf page. I will obviously be coloring these in, and then I can't really decide what I want to do. If I want to draw the spines of the book and then write the book title on the shelf, or do I want to do it where I draw out and put the titles of every physical book that I have on my shelves right now. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do here, but I did this fun little rolly cart page where I cut out a good chunk of the page so you can flip to either side. I thought that was super cute. And then last but not least, the other thing I worked on is I'm going to be tracking the number of books I read per month so I can see what month I read the most books. And finally, my genre tracker. So this will track to see what genre was my favorite for 2026. So basically my goal right now, I am going to watch my favorite show. I've started watching the show The Traitors and now I'm completely obsessed with it. So I am going to turn off my brain for a little bit, watch my show, and then I'm going to be coloring over in black all of the pencil work that I did, and then adding my bingo card and my top 26 for 2026 in here. And then we'll see what other kind of inspiration I get to. But I only have a couple hours before I have to go pick up my oldest at school. So again, I'm taking this time for myself to just relax, get a little bit creative, and work on my journal, because I'm going to be honest with you guys. I would love to be able to come down in this office in the evening to just have a little bit of me time. But by the time our children get to sleep, it's usually close to 8:30 at night. And then I feel guilty coming down here and not spending time with my husband. So then I have to do whatever task I'm doing upstairs with him. So usually that just means obviously reading next to him while he watches TV, or if we have a TV show that we're watching together. So my daytimes where I do have a chunk of time to just be able to dedicate to something fun and creative and just enjoyable in this space, it's like the best thing ever. If you're a mom, you'll get what I'm trying to say. So I ended up getting quite a bit done, but I need to go run and pick up my oldest at school. I was able to finish the book goal one. I still do have to add the stars, but again, I'm going to print those out. I think she turned out super cute. Then I was able to add my top 26 books that I want to read for 2026, my reading challenge 2026 bingo card that I'm doing with my book club. And then I got a little bit of my book of the year page done. I just have to finish the little squares here, color them in, and then add a fun title to this page. But it's time to go pick up the little one. So it's been quite a few days since I've updated you guys on my journal progress, but I am very close to having the front bit of it all completely finished. Right now, I have the last page that I'm going to be working on, which is my most anticipated releases for the year. I was kind of on the fence as to whether or not I wanted to put this in here because I thought, well, social media is probably going to tell me when all of these things are going to be coming out. But then I thought, no, I feel like if I plan the new releases that I'm excited about in advance, then if there is a book that comes before it, or if I need to do a refresher or a reread of the book that came before it, then I know when I need to do that reread before I get to the new release or anything like that. So I feel like it will also kind of help me plan out my TBR a little bit better so that I'm not picking books and then realizing, oh, okay, I actually need to be doing a reread of this book so that I can get to the new release, because I am somebody that I don't have the best memory in the world, okay, if I'm being honest. And I love doing rereads so that I am fresh and I know exactly where it ended off, all those little tidbits or notes or like things that authors put in the books that you don't think are important until you read it. And then you're like, oh yes, okay, that tiny little detail might become something important in the second or third book. And if I hadn't done a reread, then I would be extremely confused. So I'm going to go ahead and write down all of the new releases, and then I will be able to give you my final tour of my 2026 journal setup. I've finished my most anticipated read page. As you can see, some of the months are full, some of them are empty. I ended up writing Fate and Alchemy Book 3 in pencil by Callie Hart because she doesn't have a book title for it yet. So once she has the actual title for it, Then I'm going to put it in marker, but for now I'm just putting it in there in pencil. And I've left a little bit of room because maybe I've missed a few anticipated reads. I don't know. I try and keep track of that kind of stuff. But like I said, social media usually tells me when there's going to be a good book release. But like I said, these are the major ones that I really want to focus on. So now that those are in my planner, so now that those are in my journal, I'll have a better idea of how to plan my TBR accordingly. So I have one page left to do before I do a full tour for you guys, and that is my January section. So here's a fun little look at the title page. So for every month, I always like doing a fun little like seasonal or themed title page for that month. So January, I went with like the snowy, chilly vibes. And then on this page, I'm going to be putting down my January TBR that I've pulled for myself. So all the books that I said I was going to read. Then on the following page, obviously I have my book club's monthly, quarterly challenges that I do. So this will kind of be like a scrapbook of what those challenges are and some of the fun stuff that we've done in the group as well. So I'm going to be printing out stuff and putting it on that page. And then this one is my actual rating page for each month. So for the month, I put the calendar, and then like in Fable, when you have like the calendar of like how many days or what days you read specific books, I thought it would be kind of cute to do like a highlight of those in that little calendar in there, because I feel like that's so cool to kind of look back on to see like if you devoured a book in like a day or two, or if it was one of those books that you like slugged through for a week or so. And then on the following page is where I will use my little Ivy printer to print out each of the books that I actually went ahead and read for that month with my little star rating on the bottom. I ordered some more scrapbooking stuff that isn't going to come till the end of the week, so I'm not too sure if I will add that to this video or not, or if it will be in another video. And I also got some really fun sticker books that were very like bookish, girly aesthetic vibes. So I'm excited for those to come as well. So the thing about journals is they're always a work in progress. So if you guys really like this journaling aspect to my YouTube page and you want to see more of me updating this journal like every month, please let me know in the comments below, because it is really fun to share this journey with you guys. So anyways, I'm going to quickly run to the printer and then add my little bits to this January page here. Ready to do the final flip through for you guys where I'm at. I haven't put the January book tabs in that I finished because it's not the end of January and this video will go up before then, but like I said, I feel like I'm going to make this a tradition for you guys to be able to come and see the progress in my journal. Maybe do like a monthly reset thing where you guys help me and join me in going through my journal. So here's a look at what it looks like so far. So we have the official title page. Then we have my reading goals for 2026. So I love how I've kind of kept some space here too, so that if for some reason I decide I want to add some new goals or other goals along with the ones that I have going on here, I have room for that. Then the book goal count. So again, I wanted to read 100 books, but I left space for more if I read them. And then I will be doing a star rating system where I color in the book based on what I ended up rating that book. Then these are the two little bits from my Patreon book club for the Joy of Reading book club. Everybody did our top 26 for 26. So those are the books we want to get to this year. And then our 2026 bingo card challenge, where we try to fill all of these squares in throughout the year. So this will be updated also at the end of every month. Then I have my book of the year spread. So I will be putting the initials of the month here and then the book title in here. And then eventually my favorite book of the year will go here. Then this is my series tracker page. So these are my priority series that I really want to finish this year. And then I added this fun little pocket thing so that if there are some new priority series that I come across after I've finished these ones, I'll add them to this fun little note card section. Then we have the library. So I've decided what I'll do is at the end of every month, I will color in the book, put the book title, and then kind of fill up the shelves as the month goes. Then we have our monthly book count. So I just want to put how many books I have read in each of these columns to see what month I ended up reading the most books. Then this kind of changed up with the format just because I feel like I will end up reading like lots of romance books. So instead of doing like columns like this, I just thought it would be more of a genre mosaic. So every time I read a romance book, it will be a certain color and then I will color that in. So I'll get to see like a rainbow of all of the different genres that I've read for the year. Then we have the Joy of Reading book club picks. So each month, the book that we choose will go in this square, and then I'll do like who ended up nominating it and a few thoughts next to each of the books. This is my 5-star books for 2026. So anytime I read a 5-star book, it will go on this page. We have my most anticipated book releases for the year. And then obviously we get into the monthly spread. So we have January, and this will be the format that I do for every month. So on the first page, I will put the TBR of the books that I pulled from my TBR videos that I do with you guys and the different prompts that were used, and also the challenge card that I do with my group and other areas for the book club and the different challenges and other fun things that we do. It'll kind of be like a scrapbook page on the page next to it. So, like this here, our monthly DIY activity was to create a TBR jar. Obviously, starting off the month with these fun challenges. And then this is a little like YouTube shout out too. So, this was one of the YouTube videos that I did where I put my entire TBR into that random wheel generator. And then this was the one that the wheel told me I needed to read. So, this will be added to my TBR probably in February. And then this is where we're at so far. So at the end of the month, when I'm officially done with my book count, I will do the highlights here of how long I read each book throughout the month, and then the pictures of the book on this page and my star ratings and maybe like one or two things about the book. But I'm so excited and I love how this ended up. And I am just so excited to continue on doing more book journaling this year. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have not already done so, make sure that you like and subscribe. And like I said, if you like this book journal content, please make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you can join me my fun book journaling adventure and to see how the journal progresses throughout the year. And I hope whatever book you're reading today brings you some kind of joy. Bye, guys.